Nitai pada kamala Koti chandra sushitala Nitai pada kamala Koti chandra sushitala Nitai Jai Chayai Jagat Judai Jai Chayai Jagat Judai Heno Nitai Dine Bhai Radha Krsna Paitenai Heno Nitai Bine Bhai Radha Krsna Paitenai Jira dhari dhara Nitai pai Jira kari Jira kari dhara Nitai pai Shri Sambandha nahi ja britha janma gelata Shri Sambandha nahi ja britha janma gelata Shri Pashu Bara Durachar Shri Pashu Bara Durachar Nitai na bolilo mukhe mojilo samsara sukhe Nitai na bolilo mukhe mojilo samsara sukhe Vidakule kikori beta Vidakule kikori beta Ahankare matahaya Nitai pada pasarya Ahankare matahaya Nitai pada pasarya Asatere Shata Karimani Asatere Shata Karimani Nitaya Karuna Habe Braje Radha Krishna Pabe Nitaya Karuna Habe Braje Radha Krishna Pabe Dharanitaya Charana Dukhani Dharanitaya Charana Dukhani Nitaya Charana Shakta Tahara Sevaka Nita Nitaya Charana Shakta Tahara Sevaka Nita Nitaya Pada Shada Koro Nitai Pada Sada Karo Narottama Baro Dukhi Nitai More Karo Sukhi Narottama Baro Dukhi Nitai More Karo Sukhi Rakho Ranga Charanera Pash Rakho Ranga Charanera Pash Rakho Ranga Charanera Pash Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Shri Caitanya-caritamrta Adi Leela Chapter 1, Text 2, translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Vande. Please see the board here. Shri Krsna Caitanya Nityananda Saha Uditao Gauda Udaye Pushpavantao Chitrao Sham Dao Tamaha Nudao Vande Shri Krsna Caitanya Nityananda Sahoditao Gaudodaye Pushpavantao Chitrao Shandao Tamo Nudao Vande Shri Krsna Caitanya Nityananda Sahoditao Gaurodaye Pushpavantau Chitrau Shandau Tamonudau Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gode Pushpavanto Chitro Shandau Tamonudo Ladies? Any ladies like to chant? Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gaurodaye Pushpavanto Chitto Shandau Tamonudau. Any ladies like to chant? Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gaurodaye Pushpavanto Shando Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gaurodaye Pushpavanto Chitro Shando Tamonudo Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gaurodaye Pushpavanto Chitro Shando Tamonudo. Vande. I offer respectful obeisances. Sri Krishna Chaitanya to Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda and to Lord Nityananda Saha Uditao simultaneously arisen Gauda Udaye on the eastern horizon of Gaura Pushpavantao the sun and moon together Chitrao wonderful Sham Dao bestowing benediction. Tamaha, no thou, dissipating darkness. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Krishna, Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who are like the sun and moon. They have arisen simultaneously on the horizon of Gaura to dissipate the darkness of ignorance and thus wonderfully bestow benediction upon all. Yeah, so this talk will be in English and Hindi. You're translating in Hindi there? Is it? Hindi अनुवाद पीछे उस तरफ गिरिधारी गोपीनाथ प्रभु करेंगे और अखरा तेलुगु अनुवादम. Okay. There's no purport directly given to this verse. The purport is later given in Bengali by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Om Jnanatirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurinmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Shreshtham Manamapi Shakti Putramatra Surupam Rupam Tasyagrajam Urupurim Maturim Goshtavatim Radha Kundam Girivaramaho Radhika Madhavasham Prapto Yatsya Pratita Kripaya Shri Gurum Tam Natosmi. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Ataf Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shivashakhan Vitamscha. Then I'll read a few more verses. The verse that we chanted together is from the Mangalacharan, the auspicious invocation of Sri Caitanya-caritamrta, and there are several verses therein specifically dedicated to Nityananda Prabhu, which I shall now read. Sankarshana karanataya shai garbhoda shai chapayodhishai sheshas chatyasyang sakala sanityananda kyarama sharanam mamastu. Namastu. May Sri Nityananda Ram be the object of my constant remembrance. Sankarshan, Sheshanag, and the Vishnus, who lie on the Karana ocean, Garbha ocean, and ocean of milk, are his plenary portions and the portions of his plenary portions. Mayatite vyapi vaikunta loke purnaishvarye Shri Chaturvyuha madhye Rupam yasyodbhati sankarshanakyam tam Shri Nityananda Ramam prapadye. I surrender unto the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Rama, who is known as Sankarshana in the midst of the Chaturvyuha, consisting of Vasudev, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. He possesses full opulences and resides in Vaikuntha-loka, far beyond the material creation. Maya bharta janda sanghashrayanga shete sakshat karanam bodhi madhye yasyaikangsha Shri Puman Adi Devas Tang Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapadye. You like to come? You're welcome to come. I offer my full obeisances unto the feet of Shri Nityananda Rama, whose partial representation called Karanodakashai Vishnu, lying on the Karana ocean, is the original Purusha, the master of the illusory energy and the shelter of all the universes. Yasyang shangsha Srila Garbhodashayi Yanna Bhyabjang Loka Sanghatanalam Loka Shashtu Sutika Dhama Dhatus Tang Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapadye. I offer my full obeisances unto the feet of Sri Nityananda Rama, a partial part of whom is Garbhodakashai Vishnu. From the navel of Garbhodakashai Vishnu sprouts the lotus that is the birthplace of Brahma, the engineer of the universe. The stem of that lotus is the resting place of the multitude of planets. Yasyang shang shang sha paratma kilanam poshta vishnur bhati dugdhabdi shai kshauni bharta yatkara sopyanantas tang Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapadye. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the feet of Shri Nityananda Rama, whose secondary part is the Vishnu lying in the ocean of milk. That Kshirodakashai Vishnu is the super soul of all living entities and the maintainer of all the universes. Sheshanaga is his further sub-part. Today is a very happy day. Nityananda means always happy. So for devotees in Krishna consciousness, they're always happy. Srila Prabhupada often noted that that is the symptom of a devotee. He would quote, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. To be on the spiritual platform means to be happy. Or actually often in this connection, Srila Prabhupada would say jolly. Devotee is jolly, happy, always happy. Now everyone wants to be happy, always. It's axiomatic. But in this material world, the happiness, there is some happiness, but it's very little. And we don't experience it very often. Whatever happiness we get is very limited. It's mixed with distress, and it causes more distress. Whatever happiness we get causes distress. For instance, in the narration of Chitraketu Maharaj, he thought, if only I could get a son, then I could become happy. He got a son, and the son became the cause of more distress. He ended up being more distressed, and if he was so distressed at not having a son, then he got a son, and he became more distressed when the son died. So that's the nature of happiness in this material world. But actually we're all meant for Nityananda, eternal bliss. And therefore the yogis, they attempt to detach their consciousness from the illusory happiness of this world, so that they can become situated in a situation of happiness. But generally they think that happiness means cessation of material desires, which means cessation of material bondage, and that's all. Simply to be free from Maya, they think is happiness. It's analogous to a prisoner who's being tortured every day. He thinks, well, if I could just get free from this prison, then I'll be happy. And actually, if he does get free from the prison, then he will experience some happiness, because he's no longer jailed and he's no longer tortured. But if he has nothing to do, then where's the happiness? He might even think, well, at least in the jail I had some company. My friends were being tortured also. But outside the jail, if there's nothing and no one, there's relief from one kind of distress, but it's not full happiness. It's an unnatural situation. At least I got fed in the jail, but I don't get any food here. So, persons who want to attain eternal happiness, they must recognize that eternal happiness is in Krishna. Nityananda is a name for Krishna, actually. Nityananda is a name for Balarama avatar Nityananda, but that name is completely applicable to Krishna or Rama. The real yogis, Ramante yogino nante satyananda chiratmani iti Rama pade naso param brahma vidhiyate. The real yogis, they recognize that real bliss, yogis are looking for bliss, but they realize that real bliss is in Rama. They take pleasure in Rama, because Rama means all pleasure. And that Rama is not this Ram or that Ram. There are so many people with the name Ram. T.S. Rama Rao is, or was, one famous Telugu person with the name Rama. And people thought they would get pleasure from going to his movies. He was a movie star first, yeah? And then they thought he'd get pleasure from voting for him when he became, like most worn-out movie stars do, they become politicians. But that's not Satyananda, that's Mithyananda. And that's not Nityananda, it's Kshanikananda. There's no real happiness. And where is T.S. Rama Rao now? Oh, there's a mosquito. But maybe it was him. You never know. Because hero to zero. He was a hero and then he become nothing. So I have nothing particular against him, but just using as an example that the real Ram, who is Nityananda, who is eternally blissful, in actual bliss, is Param Brahma, the supreme reality, the personality of Godhead. And we recognize, what's the translation you say in Telugu? Devadi Deva? What is it for supreme personality of Godhead? Devadi Deva. Devadi Deva Ru. That's not really a translation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is it? In Gita we have Paramam Purusham Divyam. That's better. You don't get this It's not a translation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Is that the standard translation in the Telugu books? But Prabhupada used those words very specifically. Yeah, Godhead means the conception of God, and then, or the Supreme, and then there's personality and Supreme. So that translation misses, there are three words there, and of is just a link word. And they're all very important. So you can tell your translator, he should find better words. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Nityananda. And we also by nature are Nityananda. We are meant to be, our constitutional position is to be eternally blissful. But Nitai Pada Pasariya, Ahankare Matahoya Nitai Pada Pasariya, Asatyare Satta Korimani. Becoming bewildered, insane by egoism, forgetting our relationship with Nityananda. We ahankari we forget Nityananda, we forget what is our real bliss. Who is Nityananda, the personality of Godhead? And we take that which is unreal to be real. Therefore, Shesham Bandha Nahi Ja Britha Janma Gelota. If we don't, in this human form of life, develop our relationship with Nityananda, then we've simply wasted our life. It's a useless, we got born as a human, which is the valuable birth, but we're born and lived and died uselessly. And even though we may have vidya, kula, we may have knowledge, we may have high birth, but what is the use? That won't help us at all. As we just met Pandit Sri Vijay Raghavan, who was explaining to us how Ramanuja Acharya was explaining that if you may study all the Shastras, but if you don't find Krishna, then it's useless. There's no meaning. You may be a very great Pandit. You may be able to explain all the words, break it down into all the dhatus and give this meaning and that meaning, imaginative meaning. Mostly the Pandits, they like to break down words and make some different meanings. But at the end of it all, if you don't find Krishna, then you are Panditamani. You're just considering yourself to be a great Pandit, not actually a Pandit. So Nityananda means the supreme reality who is always blissful. He is a person, but he's not a person like us, because we are persons, but our real personality is covered by a false conception of considering ourselves to be the enjoyer of this material nature. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda, they come. Vande Shri Krsna Chaitanya Nityanandau Sahauditau Gaudodaya Pushpavantau Chitro Shandau Tamonudau. They're like the sun and the moon have arisen simultaneously on the horizon of Gauda, which means West Bengal, to wonderfully bestow benediction upon all. So their benediction is to give Nityananda, to give eternal bliss to everyone. How is that possible? What is that eternal bliss? That eternal bliss is in Krishna Chaitanya. So Krishna Chaitanya means the personality, Krishna Chaitanya. It also means Krishna consciousness. Yeah, in Telugu, Krishna consciousness is translated as Krishna Chaitanya. So they've come Krishna Chaitanya came to give Krishna Chaitanya and Nityananda. And Nityananda came to give Krishna Chaitanya and Nityananda. There's no Nityananda without Krishna Chaitanya. And there's no Krishna Chaitanya without Nityananda. And whether you take it, you can take this both ways. There's no Sri Krishna Chaitanya who is Radha Krishna Nahiyanya. There's that personality, he doesn't come without Nityananda Balaram. And there's no Krishna consciousness without full eternal bliss, because to be Krishna conscious is to be blissful. So as I open this by saying it's a very happy day, actually in Krishna consciousness, every day is a very happy day. By the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, we become always happy. So if people ask you that why are you doing this Krishna consciousness, you could be earning money and living in a big building and have an expensive car, you can give the answer, Nityananda. What is the answer? Nityananda. We're doing it because this actually brings happiness. The happiness that we won't get by amassing money, power, fame, position, prestige. The happiness we'll get by singing and dancing, chanting the holy names Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This is the gift of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Parama Karuna Pahunduvijana Nitai Gaura Chandra Saba Avatar Sara Shiromani Kevala Ananda Kanda. Of all the avatars, these two lords, Chaitanya and Nityananda, they are the best because their path is simply blissful. So, you please chant Hare Krishna for 5 minutes, and we're very blissful, but still, as long as we're in this world, there are various bodily needs and distresses, so in pursuance of that, I'll take a 5-minute break.
Hare Krishna
Krishna. Nityananda Prabhu bestows Nityananda by giving Krishna Chaitanya one important point is that I already said there's no Krishna Chaitanya without Nityananda, which means also that there is no Krishna Chaitanya with Nityananda. We cannot have Krishna consciousness or Sri Krishna Chaitanya, the personality of Godhead, and also have Mithyananda or false happiness. If we want to enter into Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna consciousness, then we have to be free from all desires, hopes for, endeavors for false happiness. So Nityananda and Mithyananda, they're quite different. They have the appearance of being the same, but they're quite different. So we have to choose if we want Nityananda or Mithyananda. And particularly Nityananda Prabhu helps us to become free from material desires of which aim at the false happiness of this material world. He helps to become free from material desires. Because as long as we are not free from material desires, then we cannot fully welcome into our heart Krishna Chaitanya. Sada hridaya kandare spuratu va Satchinandanaha. Rupa Goswami gives the benediction, may Satchinandana, Krishna Chaitanya, be manifested within the core of your heart. The heart has to become purified. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives the process. Chaito darpana marjaram param vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. By this Sankirtan, the heart will be purified. And in a pure heart, Krishna will manifest. Krishna is there, but we can't see him because we're not looking for him. We're looking for material happiness. So Nityananda, he helps. And there are many statements in this regard. Narottam Das, in the song we just sung, we said, Nityaina bolilo moke mojilo samsara suke. If we don't chant the name Nityananda, if we don't aspire for Nityananda, then we'll become absorbed in trying to enjoy the so-called happiness of this material world. Therefore Narottam Das elsewhere prays, Ha ha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Kripa Balokano Karo Ami Baro Dukhi. He prays that you please give me your merciful glance. You are always happy. That's your very name. But I, Narottam Das says, am very distressed. Narottam Das elsewhere sings, Ar kabi nitai chanda karuna hoibe samsara bashana mo kabi tucha hobe. This very important song, which he begins by saying that Gauranga bolite hobe pulaka sharia hari hari bolite nayone bobe neya. He's praying for the time when by chanting the name of Gauranga, then his hairs will stand on end in ecstasy. And by chanting the name of Hari, Hari Hari, then tears will flow in a stream from the eyes. But then he says also that when will Nityananda, when will I get the mercy of Nityananda? And my deep-rooted desires for enjoying this material world will become insignificant. At the present time, the material desire, it's the most significant thing in our life. Our life is our desire. There's no life without desire. The Mayavadis try to get free from all desire, but they're caught in a trap, because how can you become free from desire unless you desire to become free from desire? So that's another desire. But material desire, the desire to enjoy this world, as long as we have that desire, then even if sometimes we feel some ecstasy in chanting the names of Krishna, then we swing back like a pendulum or a yo-yo. Sometimes we're feeling bliss in Krishna Bhakti. Sometimes we're thinking how to enjoy this material world, back and forth, or more like up and down, up, like a yo-yo. You know this? You have this yo-yo? You go up and then down, up and then down. So Nityananda helps us to be fixed in Krishna Chaitanya. So we should pray for his mercy, that we can become free from material desires so that we may be situated in the spiritual desire, simply to serve and love Krishna. And without that endeavor or desire to be free from material desires, then our so-called Krishna Chaitanya, it's a kind of cheating. That we want to have spiritual bliss, but at the same time we want to enjoy this material world. But the spiritual bliss comes from Sharanagati, from taking shelter of Krishna and leaving behind the material world. As Krishna famously says, Sarvadhaman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishami mashucha. But taking fully shelter in Krishna, Krishna delivers us from all sinful reactions. But to take shelter means to leave behind all material desire, that full surrender. Otherwise, if we surrender and then we think, okay, maybe I'll enjoy this material world again, that's not really full surrender. In fact, as our Pandit Sri will tell us, the Ramanuja Sampradaya is in two divisions over this question. Some say that you surrender once, finished. And others, your line, they say that, no, surrender is Sharanam, it means ongoing, not that, okay, I surrendered, now I'm back, yo-yo, up and down, up. But surrender means full, forever. Then there is Nityananda. Otherwise, it's not really full surrender. Of course, one may be on the path. One may have the intention to fully surrender himself to Krishna. But at the same time, there are material desires which from Purva Sanskara, from previous effects in our mind over many lives, so we're like a yo-yo or a pendulum. So that we require the mercy of God to help us to, because Maya is very strong. What do you think? You agree or not agree? If we don't think Maya is strong, there's no way of overcoming. Daivi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante maya metam tarantita. If we, prapatti, same thing. If we take shelter in him by his grace, we can get free from Maya. So particularly Nityananda, he bestows the spiritual bliss by which we can leave behind this Maya. Rasavarjang riyasopyasya parang drashtva nivartate. When we get that higher taste, then we won't desire the lower taste. So Nityananda, he simply gives bliss. He has nothing to do with this material world. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas. He also has nothing to do with this material world. But superficially he accepted sannyas for the sake of delivering others. But Nityananda, he didn't even do that. There's no formal record of his accepting sannyas. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as a sannyasi, he very strictly followed all the rules of sannyas to set an example for others. He acted as an ideal acharya. But Nityananda, he's known as avadhut, which means one who doesn't follow any rules and regulations of society. There are different kinds of people don't follow the rules and regulations of society. One is a criminal. It's one kind of person. Someone is uncivilized. They may be living in the jungle, there's no rules for them to follow. Or they may be Chandala, living outside the village. They don't follow the rules, they don't follow the Vedic rules. Or they may be a madman. Or they may be a avadhut, which means being situated on the spiritual platform beyond the rules and regulations. So, Nityananda, he's avadhut, beyond the regulations, which to external vision, he often acted like a madman. Kautuki Nityananda Shahajay Pagal in Caitanya-caritamrta said that, no, I'm getting mixed up, but it's Shahajay Pagal, it's said of him. That's another one. He's very funny, Kautuki by nature, and by nature he's Pagal. You all know the meaning of the word pagal. It means crazy. But it's not the madness of this material. Actually, in this material world, everyone is mad. Dunang pramatak kurute vikarma yadindriya pritiya apinoti. Everyone is mad because they're performing sinful activities which cause them distress in the name of pursuing happiness. It's crazy. Apart from that, there are people who even the mad people of this world think are mad. Clinically insane. We see them sometimes standing in the middle of the road. They didn't bathe ever in their life, it looks like. They may be wearing some clothes, some very filthy clothes, directing the traffic, as if the traffic doesn't bother with them. They'll be in the hot sun in midday and in the hottest time of year. They don't notice. They're insane. There's another kind of insanity, and that is the insanity of Krishna Chaitanya, which Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited sometimes. But generally he would restrain himself when he was in the company of people who could not understand that. For instance, when he first met Ramananda Rai, he and Ramananda Rai embraced each other and they were exhibiting ecstatic symptoms of pure love of Krishna. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu noticed there were about 1,000 people with Ramananda Rai, and they were Vedic Brahmanas, many of them, and they couldn't understand. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu restrained himself. So he generally exhibit ecstatic symptoms only in very guarded company, not with everyone. But Nityananda, he didn't have any restrictions, and he would do all kinds of things. In Navadvip Leela, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was known as Nimai Pandit, or more formally Vishvamba Mishra. Then Nityananda Prabhu came once to the house of Nimai. Not only once, he came so many times, but once he came completely naked, fully grown, fully naked. So the devotees were a little embarrassed and concerned. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nimai called for some cloth and made that into kopin, and he gave to Nitai. Then he took little pieces from that kopin, and said to everyone, "You keep this on your head. By doing so, you will be completely free from material lust." He would wander, Nitai would wander around Navadvip, causing all kinds. He would go and milk the cows, let the calves free, as Krishna used to do. So they'd drink all the milk. He would walk up to young girls and propose to marry them. Outrageous behavior. Because he's absorbed in love of Krishna, he doesn't consider time, place and circumstance. He doesn't consider he's in the material world at all, because he's absorbed in Nityananda. So sometimes Chaitanya, Nimai, he would say to Nitai that you should behave yourself. And Nitai would say, me misbehave? Why? What are you talking about? It's you who are misbehaving. I'm not misbehaving. So he's Sahajay Pagal. He's by nature a transcendental madman. In the bliss of remembering Krishna Chaitanya, he behaves like a transcendental madman. Therefore he's called Avadhut. We pray regularly, Sadvaitam, Savadhutam. So, Parijana Sahitam, Krishna Chaitanya Deva. So we offer obeisances to Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya Deva, who is with Advaita, Sadvaitam, Savadhutam. He's with Avadhut. Avadhut here means Nityananda Prabhu. Parijana Sahitam, and with all his associates. So we offer obeisance like that. So, I'll speak. We're trying to speak something about the glories of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, about whom Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami said, Nityananda Mahima Sindhu Ananta Apa Ekona Sparshi Matro Shri Kripataha. He said that the ocean of Nityananda Prabhu's glories, Nityananda Mahima Sindhu, is it's Ananta Apa, which are both translated into English as unlimited. There's no end to it, and there's no border to it, I guess we could say, or there's no crossing it. You can't go beyond it because it's unlimited. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that because he described in that section of Caitanya-caritamrta, there's one chapter of Nityananda Mahima, the glories of Lord Nityananda. He said, I'm just touching a drop of it by his mercy. So in that chapter he describes the Mangalacharan verses we read, how the Sankarshan is an expansion of Balaram. He expands himself from him, from Karnadakar Shai Vishnu, all the universes emanate from his body. Then again he expands as Garbhodakar Shai Vishnu and enters all the universes, and Kshirodakashai Vishnu enters into every atom in every universe, and that Sankarsana is just a part of Nityananda Rama. So some idea of his glory, his greatness is given there. Elsewhere in that chapter, Krishnadas Kaviraj writes, Nityananda Prabhur Gurna Mahima Apa Sahasra Bodhane Shesh Nahi Pai Ja. That the glories of his qualities are unlimited. And what to speak of me, Krishnadas Kaviraj says, that even the 1,000-mouthed one, or the 1,000-faced one, namely Ananta Shesha, with his thousands of mouths, he's Ananta Shesh, but he cannot find the Shesh, he cannot find the end of the qualities of Nityananda Prabhu. So that Nityananda we are trying to glorify here. It's not possible for us, being tiny living beings, to even begin to adequately describe his glories. But by his mercy, we can attempt to do so for our own purification. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is known as Mahavadanya Avatar. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tvashe Namaha. That Krishna has come with a golden complexion. He is this Krishna, he's known as Krishna Chaitanya, and he's the most magnanimous of all avatars. All the avatars are magnanimous. They only come for the benefit of this world, otherwise there's no need for them to come. But he is the most magnanimous. But still, it's said that Nityananda is more merciful than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifests his mercy both personally and particularly through Nityananda Prabhu. So another great quality of Nityananda, one special facet of Nityananda Prabhu, special in the sense that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does it also, he does it also, but particularly Nityananda is associated with relieving us from material desires. And another facet of Nityananda, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also does, but Nityananda is particularly noted for, is the uplifting the fallen. Patita Pavana Gaura Hari. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaura Hari, is known as the purifier of the fallen, but practically Nityananda did that on the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even more than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally directly did. Nityananda Prabhu is famous. Later, if we have the time and opportunity, we'll sing more bhajans about Nityananda Prabhu, how he would give love of Krishna even to the most fallen people. He doesn't, of course that's said of all the Panchatattva, Patra Vichana Hi Nahi Sthanastan Jai Jaha Pai Tare Deya Premodan. The Panchatattva, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Srivasa Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, they do not discriminate who is qualified, who is not qualified, or what is a proper place, what is not a proper place. They give love of Krishna to anyone who's willing to take it. But particularly Nityananda is famous for delivering the most fallen. He would go among the Chandalas, which they're outside Vedic culture, and he would give Krishna consciousness even to them. So today we're celebrating that most merciful Nityananda Prabhu's appearance in this world in Ek Chakra. Just a few days ago in Ek Chakra, the temple, ISKCON temple of Lord of Gaur Nitai, was opened in Ekchakra in Birbhum district. It now comes under Birbhum district in West Bengal, although it's transcendental. It's not under, we may say, it's from the material perspective, it's correct to say that it's in Birbhum district of West Bengal, but actually not only Ekachakra, but all Gauram, Sri Gauramandala Bhumi Jeba Jane Chintamani, Tar Hoy Braja Bhume Bas, Narottam Das in another of his songs. On Monday evening, I'm planning to have Monday, it means 2 days from now, is the disappearance, I believe, of Sri Narottam Das Thakur. So on that evening we can have a session of singing some of the many songs composed by Narottam Das. So in one of them he says, actually many of them are very famous among Bengali Vaishnavas, many. So practically Krishna consciousness has been sustained in Bengal throughout the generations. Largely, a major part of that has been the songs of Narottam Das. All the philosophy is there. All the philosophy, the feeling. So he says that the Sri Gaura Mandala Bhumi, the land of which we may call West Bengal, is spiritual, transcendental. One who recognizes this doesn't actually live in this material world. He lives in Braja Bhumi, in the spiritual world, Vrindavan. So he appeared in West Bengal. Gaura means specifically the area which was under the Muslim kings, actually, Hindu kings and Muslim kings. And Nityananda Prabhu appeared in the Radha Desh. That's one particular area, West Bengal. I first went there, must have been, I think it must have been 1980 or 1981. I went to commission a sculptor to fashion the deity of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I haven't been for a long time. We should all visit these places. Gauramara Jai Shabasthane Karela Brahmana Range Shai Shabasthana Haribo Ami Pranai Bhakata Sange. Bhaktivinoda Thakur aspires to visit all the places visited by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He aspires to visit in the association of loving devotees. Anyway, there are so many things to do. We have to preach in these horrible cities like Hyderabad. I mean, from a material point of view, it's not very nice, although people think it is nice, but it's not. We have to preach in all these places. Srila Prabhupada himself said that I wanted to visit so many places, holy places, but I didn't have the opportunity because I was busy preaching. So he sent Lokanath Maharaj, and you go by Padayatra. You go. You visit all these places, and in between you preach like this. So anyway, he appeared in Ekchakra in West Bengal, and Nitai, the name Nitai is very well known in Bengal. In West Bengal, in East Bengal, in Assam, wherever there are Bengalis. Of course, not all Bengalis have faith in Nityananda. There are Shaktas also. Traditionally, Bengali society, traditionally means for the last few hundred years, has been divided religiously, not considering the Muslims and the Buddhists and the Christians who came later. They didn't come later, they got converted. But among the Hindus, there's broadly divided into Shaktas and Vaishnavas. So the Vaishnavas, they're all pretty much Gauriya Vaishnavas. I didn't find in Bengal others. I mean, there were others. There are Ramanuja Vaishnavas, but they are Marwaris or Nimbaka Vaishnavas. But they're also non-Bengalis living in Bengal. So Vaishnavism in Bengal means Gauriya Vaishnavism, and the name of Nitai, Joy Nitai, is very famous throughout Bengal. Now, by the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, manifested through the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, specifically through our Srila Prabhupada, who is non-different from Nityananda Prabhu. Now all over the world, people are chanting Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I'm worshipping Gaura Nitai. Actually in Bengal, the worship of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we'll find his deity is often worshipped with Radha Krishna. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, in his Gauriya Mats, he mostly established deities of Radha Krishna, who he didn't call by the name Radha Krishna. He would call them something like Vinoda Madhavji or something like this. He would give the name Vinoda for Radha. And then he would establish Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with them. And those who are the other worshippers of when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was established not with Radha Krishna, they're mostly Gaura Gadadha or Gaur Vishnu Priya. That was mostly by the Nadia Nagari, Upper Sampradaya. They worship in a wrong way. But those who, as Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explained, that those who worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Madhurya Bhav, aiming for Radha Krishna Lila, they worship Gaura Gadadha. This is very esoteric. Gadadha is Radha, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also Radha Krishna. But those who aspire for the worshipping him in Sakhya Bhav, the mood of the cowherd boys, then they worship Gaur Nitai. So Srila Prabhupada established deities of Gaur Nitai all over the world. He also taught this standard Gauriya Siddhanta, that Chaitanya, worship of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is ultimately, not necessarily for everyone, but particularly aiming for Radha Krishna Prem. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada established Gaur Nitai because Nityananda Prabhu is especially merciful to the fallen. So Srila Prabhupada established Gaur Nitai. There may be also some esoteric reasons for that, but Nityananda Prabhu makes Krishna consciousness available very easily. Otherwise, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, what he came to give is far, far beyond the understanding of even great Vedic Pandits, even of many Vaishnavas. But Nityananda Prabhu made it easy. Therefore, also, to get Nityananda, one also requires the mercy of Nityananda. That Kripa Bala Kara Kara Ami Baro Dukhi, then and then we have to go through Advaita also. Nitai Bhajile Gaur Pabe. If we worship Nityananda, we'll attain to Gaura. And Gaura means ultimately, what is that? Nitaya karuna habe, braje radha krishna pabe. We ultimately, by the mercy of Nityananda, we can attain to Radha Krishna in Vrindavan. So this is the Nityananda who we are worshipping. Even more merciful. They're both very merciful. They offered by the simplest method, the most joyful method, to the most fallen people, the highest possibility of love of God. That's mercy. Mercy means to give someone something that they don't deserve, which is for their benefit, but which they don't deserve. So Kali Yuga, everyone is fallen. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates come and they lift us up. In this age, people they only understand sense gratification. So he gives Nityananda gives a very joyful method. Gaur Nitai give a very joyful method of God realization, chanting the holy names and taking prasad. Taking prasad is a very important part of the pastimes of Nityananda and Gauranga. So I just said that Srila Prabhupada is Nityananda, and some of you may be wondering, what's going on here? Well, Srila Prabhupada himself said that in one letter he wrote about my Guru Maharaj, who is Nityananda Prabhu. So in this sense we understand that Nityananda is Balaram Tattva. Balaram is Guru Tattva. So the spiritual master, he himself should be Nityananda. He is Krishnananda Pradata. As we pray in the Guru Gayatri, we pray to him as being Krishnananda. He's full of Krishna bliss. So that is Nityananda. And that Nityananda, he manifests through the personage of the Guru. The mercy of the Guru means the mercy of Krishna, but particularly that is manifested through Balaram, Nityananda. So when we say that the Guru is Nityananda, that should be true, otherwise not really a Guru in the truest sense of the term. But also he carries he's non-different in the sense of carrying the mercy of Nityananda. So all over the world, by the mercy of Nityananda, received through Srila Prabhupada, the devotees of Nityananda, the devotees of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasa Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, and the mercy of the devotees of Radha Krishna. They worship Gaur Nitai and raise their hands and chant Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasa Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We worship Nityananda. We also will worship Narottama. We worship Prabhupada. We worship the Vaishnavas. But Nityananda, he is not a Vaishnava in the ordinary sense. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Balaram. Just as Krishna Chaitanya is Krishna, so Brajendra Nandan Jai Shachi Shuta Hoilo Shai Balarama Hoilo Nitai. Again from Narottam's song, very well known, that Brajendra Nandan, the son of Nanda Maharaj, has become the son of Shachi Devi, and Balaram. So Krishna becomes, in other words, Krishna has advented as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Balaram has advented as Nityananda. Very well known. I'll give an example. A few years ago, I was initiating in Mayapur. One devotee, I gave him the name Brajendra Nandana. So there was a Bengali group of devotees there. So I said, explaining the name, I said Brajendra Nandan J, and I left it like that, knowing that people say Shachi Shuta Hoiloshe, because it's expected that they would know it, and they did know it. It's so with the songs of Narottam Das, they're so well known, even today, among Bengali Vaishnavas. So, Prabhupada explains about this in one of his purports, that there is no difference between the spiritual positions of Lord Nityananda Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu, or Krishna and Balaram. All of them are but different manifestations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Srila Prabhupada explained why he established in Vrindavan a temple of Krishna and Balaram. That's unusual, because mostly the temples in Vrindavan are of Radha and Krishna. But he established Gauranitai with Krishna Balaram, and he explained that to demonstrate to the world that Gauranitai are non-different from Krishna and Balaram. In Orissa also, I'm seeing, the songs of Narottam Das, at least until recently, were very well known. It was all these songs. They were, of course, he wrote so many songs, but some of them are particularly famous and well known. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's the Supreme Lord. It's described in Caitanya-caritamrta. He once exhibited to Nityananda Prabhu a six-armed form, Shadbhuj, with the usual Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, and also a flute. That's only 5, but you need 2 hands to hold the flute. So, 6 hands and 5 things to hold. Then the Lord showed to him his 4-armed form, standing in the classic 3 curved posture, but with 4 arms. Then with 2 hands he showed, in that 4-arm form, 2 hands holding a flute, and the other 2 a conch shell and disc. So Nityananda Prabhu is non-different from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as Balaram is non-different from Krishna, but he always thinks of himself as a servant of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This Chaitanya Mahaprabhu once arranged for Vyasa Puja. He wanted to worship Nityananda by Vyasa Puja. So in Vyasa Puja, as it's described in the Padatis, or the method of doing it, the person who's to be worshipped should first worship Vyasa. And then he's honored himself as a manifestation of Vyasa. So we do that or I may do that by worshipping Prabhupada as the representative of Vyasa. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, at that time Nimai Pandit, he brought a garland and gave it to Nityananda, means he gave it in his hands, with the idea that Nityananda would place that garland on Vyasa. But instead, Nityananda placed it on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to demonstrate that the origin of Vyasa is Krishna Chaitanya. So Vyasa is worshipped as being non-different from Krishna, and the Guru is worshipped as being non-different from Vyasa. And as Srila Prabhupada comments in this pastime, that the devotees present there, they're all devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They all understood that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the personality of Godhead. But they came to understand by this pastime that Nityananda is non-different from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they're one. One in the sense that, of course, they're separate personalities, but they're one person manifesting in different forms. But their mission is one. They come to this world for the same purpose, and that purpose is Dino Hino Jato Chilo Hariname Udharilo. Their purpose is to uplift the fallen, and they do that by the holy names of Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would personally go with his followers, chanting the holy names in public. Udila Varuna Puraba Bhage Dvijamani Gaura Amani Jage Bhakata Shamoha Loya Shathe Gelo Nagara Braje. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu early in the morning would rise, and bringing his companions with him, he would go into the neighboring towns and villages, chanting the holy names of Krishna, Mukunda Madhava Jadava Hari, and exhorting the people also to do so. But in this matter of spreading the holy names to anyone and everyone, he deputed particularly Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas. They were in the widespread preaching of Krishna consciousness which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to inaugurate, and which Srila Prabhupada gave a massive boost to by taking it all over the world. That all started in the streets of Navadvip by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu once calling Nityananda and Haridas and telling them, Shuno Shuno Nityananda Shuno Haridas Sharvatra Amar Agya Karaha Prakash Prati Ghare Ghare Giya Kara E Bikha Bhaja Krishna Bolo Krishna Karo Krishna Shikha. He said, listen, Nityananda and Haridas, make my order manifested everywhere. Go to every door and beg, because you're supposed to. Nityananda and Haridas, they appeared as sadhu, which means beggars. When in the time of the census, on Indira Gandhi's time, there was a census done, so they put sadhus and beggars in one category. There were engineers, accountants, factory workers, and beggars and sadhus in one category. Well, there is a difference, but sadhus, they're generally known as bhikkhuk. But begging bhiksha is different from just begging, because by offering bhiksha, it's giving an opportunity to others to become benefited. Not that the person is in need. Anyway, that's a digression. So Haridas and Nityananda, they would go door to door, just like beggars go door to door, or sadhus may go door to door, begging. But sadhus, they don't go to many doors. If they're actual sadhus, they have a limit. They'll go to so many doors in one day. In Madhukari and Vrindavan, I think it's 7 doors or 11 doors. There's some, maybe different sadhus have. And whatever they're given, they take. And if they get enough, they stop going. And actually they'll only take a little from each home. And if they don't get enough, then they don't take. They don't go to any more doors. They take it as the mercy of God. So he told them, you go door to door begging. You go to every door, not a limited number. Go to every door and beg. But what is your begging? Tell people to worship Krishna, chant the names of Krishna and instruct others about Krishna. So this was the beginning of the preaching movement. Nityananda is the first guru, the first preacher, and he's said to be more merciful than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There's one very famous incident, means famous among Gauriya Vaishnavas, which demonstrates this. Of course, that might sound contradictory. He's the same, but he's more merciful. But in the personality of Godhead, all contradictions are resolved. Nityananda Prabhu simply manifests one aspect of the personality. He manifests more one aspect of the personality of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is, very merciful. Kautuki Nityananda Sahaje Doyamay. He is by nature very funny and very merciful. That is Nityananda. So one pastime in particular demonstrates the great mercy of Nityananda, the deliverance of Jagai and Madhai. So one time Nityananda and Haridas, they would go out every day. It wasn't just one time, but every day they would go out requesting people to worship Krishna, say the names of Krishna, learn about Krishna. One time in the streets of Navadvip, they saw there was some great commotion. What was going on was that they came and they saw two drunkards who were talking, they were arguing and fighting with each other, and people were gathered round to watch their tomfoolery of these drunkards. So Nityananda said to Haridas, "Oh, these are very fallen people. They would be good to deliver, to demonstrate the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu." So he went through the crowd. But the people warned, "You don't go to them. They're drunk now, but they're very dangerous. They're born Brahmin families, but they're two brothers, but they're murderers, pillagers, rapists,